Dude, alright, so we gotta get in here now. We were right on the scene, guys, like a pro. There it is. Unsheathe this sucker. That's a shaft right there, boys. So sick. I got the casers all out of the RSX for Strat, and he's gonna go ahead and get me a motor this week, and we'll get that thing all buttoned up. But we've got the trans fluid all drained out of the CRX engine here because, you know, we pulled that guy. And I just rebuilt the transfer case with the PPG shaft. We don't have the PPG hypoid gear yet, but we do have the PPG shaft, and I'm pretty excited about that. I'm gonna actually put it in neutral so I can. Yeah, that feels good. I like that. You can put it in gear and don't spin. Yeah, buddy. So I drained the fluid out. I'm gonna do a little trans fluid change. Just go through things, check it out. I had some coil plate bolts that were stripping, so I fixed those. But I was also thinking about ordering up the Roscoe Racing pillow valve cover. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. It looked pretty fresh up in there. I mean, we already got a lot of the bill of goodies, you know, and Preston could still do it lightning for us. It would just come shiny silver, but we'll see. We might just leave it shiny too. I don't know. But we got a lot of things to assess, and I want to go ahead and make a little list and go over it, check it twice with you guys, and see what you guys think. So we'll tune into that, and we'll figure everything out. I need to go ahead and pull my dash so I can start getting the dash bar in there and doing a bunch of little stuff. Sean and I are really going to get the CRX way stiffer. We're going to do a lot of good little things, make almost a little cradle, two little bars that support it from the subframe to the front traction bar where the weight plate and stuff is, as well as bars from the upper shock towers coming down through the dash and all of that to the weight plate. So it's going to be a lot more rigid and strong. I'm excited. Stay tuned. All right, guys. So we need to make a little list of wants, needs for the CRX. So, all right, need parachute cable. That is needed. We need a parachute cable really, really bad, guys. Slowing down at the top of the track is sketchy. Brakes. That's supposed to be ES, but I just did like a dyslexic E and an S. Brakes. All 4 wheels. Because right now it only goes to the front 2. The staging brake because we were still working off of the E brake, not holding the car quite well. It works, but not what we want. Axles. We need axles. So parachute so we don't die. Brakes on all 4 so we don't die. Staging brake so we can stage and launch 20 pounds of boost, 30 pounds of boost, whatever we want. Axles so we can launch it whatever we want, and those don't break. We want a slipper. We want CO2, boost control. Billet valve cover. we want it. We need to get a catch pan made up, plus a overflow, or plus a breather box. So catch pan and a breather are needed for the motor as well as an alternator. Alternator is so needed, and I think we're going to be able to work it in with how we're doing the front. We're stiffening things up, and I think we're going to have space for an alternator. So alternator is needed, breathers, catch pan, axles. That one list is short. We should want more than that. I need upper control arms. Mine are toast. I think that's it. Trying to think. But off the top of my head, that's the list I can really think of. The wants, they're not really important. We're getting by without them, but these are the needs. To turn things up, we're gonna need axles. We already need the catch pan and the breather box, even without turning it up. Alternator we need without turning it up. My upper control arms, I want to replace them because they're not meant for what we're doing, and the ball joints in them are toast, so they need changed. Staging brake, brakes, parachute. Though that's literally like for our life. So those things are important. They're needed. And then these things over here, we just want them. I could add a few more sensors and stuff, but we don't really need to in this very moment. You know, I could add strain gauge, and I could add rear wheel speed for traction control. I could add these little things, drive shaft speed, you know, so we could figure out some serious slip between the front one and the rear one. See what the viscous coupler's really doing before and after. You know, there's all these little things that we could add, but I don't need those things, and not yet at least. And so it's pretty awesome where we're at. All right, I got a template of the frame rail all traced out and the dash out of the CRX. It's over there by the front end, but the dash is all out. She's looking real naked, but it gives me time because we're gonna add a dash bar. It gives me time to clean up the wiring and stuff and make things real nice and tidy. So we're gonna go ahead and add the dash bar and some stuff coming here to the shock towers. It's gonna go down to the weight plate, as well as reinforcing there and building a bar from right here straight forward on both sides. And then I kind of want to tie the catch pan into that and make it like a little cradle catch pan kind of thing. But it's not too much, not too bad. I can't get the car on the lift and cut it out until I get the RSX all taken care of. Just waiting on a motor, should have one tomorrow, and then we'll be able to get this thing cut out. And I'm gonna get a piece of metal cut before I even get it cut out, so I can start just looking at it and having it almost perfect to just go right in once it's all cut out. So we'll see. Keep on moving forward and get this stuff done. All right, so I'm over here cleaning up my shock towers and stuff, getting those ready so we can go ahead, once Rob is done with those plates, get all that working up and trimming my plate, getting this thing perfect as well. Sean's over here kicking butt. Right before my dad and them took off, we put Brett Hunter's Rally CRX on the dyno, and we heard it had some exhaust leaks and stuff. So we started checking it out, and we realized the cracks everywhere. It was no good. So Sean was like, let's do it. And we hopped in there, and we're gonna surprise him. It's pretty epic.
Yeah, he has no idea.
He has no idea. And I'm pretty excited to see his face and everything. Son's coming with him too, so it's a surprise for both of them, and it's gonna be rad. Wee doggy. So we got the shock towers all prepped. So along this line here is probably, we're gonna have to bolt once we get the plates, we'll bolt them down and see exactly where, but probably along these edges is where he'll be welding, just kind of in comparison to his over here. See, he welds along this edge here, right along here, on the front a little bit there, and on the back. So yeah, we'll just make sure we get that all cleaned up perfectly, and then that's kind of what we're gonna have up the front here, and then it's gonna come from here through, we're gonna cut a hole, it's gonna go through it, we're gonna weld it together through down to the weight plate to really tie everything together super strong. And he's welding up the downpipe for Brett Hunter's exhaust now. Brett Hunter got a little busy, so he's not gonna be able to swing by, and it's all right. But got some cool stuff coming for his CRX. You guys will have to stay tuned for that. I was gonna show you guys, but he's not coming by, so. But we're coming along really well. I need to do a little more notching. I just put the 5.9 on. I actually put it all the way on, full engagement, and I was not touching here, but it was really close. So we're gonna grind this till it's flat, flush with the pan, and then right here, to get it on and off easier, I just need to notch this, that little bit I made. See how I drew the line there, and then at 90s. So just cut back to that distance, and then cut it all the way back. So then it'll be able to go on and off really easily. We won't have to worry about the boot ripping or anything. Looks like the boot is already a little angry. We'll need a new clip on there because that clip's bent. You don't want a bent clip. So get that all situated. And this is actually for a car at home, but it's my test axle.
Okay, well, I knew it sparked.
Alright guys, so we got a bunch of little stuff, blocks back from the machine shop. I'm waiting on pistons for the H22 for the Accord here, the super clean red one, and then we're waiting on rings for Gordos and pistons for Emilios. But once those all show up, we'll get those built and ready to go together. I'm gonna get all those taken care of. I'm stoked. I timed that H22 that we've been needing to time for a bit today. Got that taken care of. I'm gonna pick up something in the morning for it, and then that thing will be all ready and set to jet. We have got so much going on every which way. Waiting on an engine from Strat. Hopefully he'll get it out today. We'll be able to get that back in that RSX up on my lift, and then we'll be able to cut out the frame of the CRX and start taking care of that. It's all prepped and ready to go. I'm pretty excited. All right, so the pistons showed up for the Accord, so I'm gonna go ahead and be able to get all that back together. I got the crank in it. I'm gonna go ahead and get everything cleaned up, just like some of this gasket maker off of right here and stuff. You know, I've been cleaning up Emilio's as well. I got all the gasket maker off of it. See, I just started sweeping it up, but I got all the gasket maker on it. I'm waiting for main bearings. I don't have main bearings. I was gonna get this guy going together as well as I was the H, but waiting on mains for Emilio's and then rings for Gordos. We've got Gordos here. We're gonna go ahead and mock up with his piston and stuff, just with his old rings, just to see if the top of the piston sticks out, because the machinist had an issue when he was doing Gordo's block, and the bit came loose. It wasn't devastating, it wasn't terrible, it could have been worse, but what did happen, he had to take 50 thousandths off at the top. So we're probably gonna have to run a thicker head gasket, and we're gonna check the piston right here in a sec, make sure it doesn't stick out the top, or if it does, it's not a bunch. And check it all out, look at it, figure that out. It's definitely scary, but we're gonna get this H22 for the Accord all taken care of and built. I got the H22 right here all timed up, the keyways all in there. I just need to get the gear and the pulley on there, and then this thing will all be taken care of. I'm gonna spin it over a few times, make sure everything's good. Valve lash and everything is still stock. We've never even taken this motor apart. It's just got the timing belt pulled off and a few things taken from my motor and a lot of other ones. We've had it for a while, but she's back together now, and she's gonna go in to another Accord, definitely older than this one, but super cool as well. Got a training for that as well, but so much little stuff going on. Still waiting on the engine from Strat, but it's gonna get here at any moment hopefully, and then we'll be able to get that guy off, and we'll have to move my program out of the way, but hopefully we'll be done with some of these before the thing's ready to come down. Exciting stuff. Getting motors built all around. Thanks for sticking with me, and stay tuned.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
All right, so I got the front and rear main all on there. Tensioner's been going on. I need to get the little sleeve that goes inside of this guy for this tensioner to make sure it's all perfect. And then I got the rear main here on. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the girdle off so I can get the rods in all super easy and torque them and everything without having this girdle in the way. So now that I got the front and rear main on, I can loosen this up, pop this up, flip the motor over, and then get all the rods and the pistons set up, ring them, and get them going in. This thing's coming together really well. God, I do love me an H series. Whew. This thing's sick. Okay there as well, but it's not the same. It's not the same. All right, so I got all the pistons on all the rods, pretty much ready to start following the rings and getting all that dialed in. I need to break all the caps off the rods, and then Gordo's over here. I got the crank in it with just 2 bearings and 2 caps, so we can go ahead and put a rod in here and see where it's all sits and everything, hoping for the best with that, but we gotta know. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick and then get back onto this H series. Exciting stuff. Good stuff. All right, so we got the fancy tool. Let's get this guy in here real quick. Perfect.
What are your bets, Todd? Do you think it's gonna stick out the top?
Yeah.
Yeah?
He's like, yep.
All right, well, change your bet, because I don't want that to happen. Right?
No bets.
Good thing we know some good machinists.
Were you trying to bet me?
No, I'm not betting anything. I just wanted to know, like, a professional's guess,
Opinions?
but... Yeah.
Professional opinions on 50 thou off the top.
Yeah. But I mean, the thicker head gasket, you think it might compensate enough to where it, like, will keep it up enough?
Yeah, I mean, the thicker head gasket will work for sure. That's our
Okay.
only option.
Yeah. Okay. But even if it does stick out the top a little bit, I'd still have to, like, get different pistons, or it wouldn't have, like, enough gap, you think? Or, like, with the thicker head gasket?
I don't know.
I'm not sure exactly how that works, so
I know. I'm trying to think the same thing. I've never seen it like this in one of these.
It's already so short, yeah.
Oh, it does. Dang.
That's a lot.
50 thou.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did you get a GSR rod in here?
Let me get my feeler gauge to see how much actually the...
Okay.
I don't have a
Yeah.
deck height micrometer, so I don't have that.
Sticking up out.
A little bit, yeah. He's gonna use his feeler gauges to see.
I didn't buy it all.
Right?
Ooh. Buy every tool.
Dang, Gordo. Look what you did.
That's 50.
50.
It's exactly 50.
Exactly what he took off is how far it sticks out.
Sheesh. Whew.
Yeah.
Exactly 50.
Yeah. A 20 and a 50, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, but all right, so we got a bunch of chaos still going on here. Gordo's piston does stick out quite a bit, so we're gonna have to assess that, talk to our piston guy Barry, see what we need to do. We might be able to mill down the sides and make it a high compression piston, or we might have to mill the whole top of the piston and drop the whole compression down. We will definitely need to see and figure that out, but we've been cranking away, getting things done. The H22 is getting really close. Need some things from the house to take care of it, and some things from the parts store. Got to pick up some H22 keyways and little stuff. We'll be all set to jet there. Still waiting on my engine for the RSX, but once that shows up, we'll get the CRX up on the lift and just start cutting into it. I mean, it's prep for surgery, so we'll just start cutting into it and getting it done. I'm really excited to see how that turns out, how that all goes. Got a few things I want to do, but thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe down below as always, and you guys are the best. This is GoofyBuilt, and peace out.